Okay, today marks the beginning of yet another journey of learning, sharing, and growing together. And I feel truly honored to stand before you in this moment of togetherness. First and foremost, let me extend a warm welcome to our respected teacher, Dr. T.P. Shashikumar Sir, who is widely known as Dr. TPS among students and educators. Sir, we are truly fortunate to have you with us. Your knowledge, wisdom, and inspiring way of teaching will certainly enlighten us and lead us towards better understanding and growth. Allow me briefly introduce Dr. T.P. Shashikumar Sir for those who may not know him well. He is a distinguished scientist, academician, and mentor. Dr. TPS served for over 2 decades in the Department of Space, Government of India, and held the position of Deputy Director at Cabinet Secretariat. He has also been director of UGC Academic Staff College at Calicut University, Kerala. With advanced degrees in mathematics, law, management, and counseling, Dr. TPS is renowned as an educator, motivational speaker, and mentor to thousands across India and abroad. I also take this opportunity to warmly welcome our beloved director, Dr. Bindo Simon Sir, whose vision and leadership have always been a source of motivation for all of us. Thank you, sir, for your constant support and encouragement. With equal warmth, I would like to welcome our respected HR, Shobha ma'am, who has always been a guidance force and a pillar of strength in nurturing talents and making every initiative a success. A heartfelt welcome as well to all our dear teachers and colleagues who have always been the backbone of our academic and training programs. Your dedication and commitment continue to inspire us each day. We are sure that the upcoming session will provide each one of us with valuable insights, new skills, and fresh perspectives. Let us look forward to an enriching learning experience together. Once again, on behalf of the entire organization team, I welcome each one of you and wish the program great success. Thank you. Without further delay, I invite Dr. TPS to take over and lead us through this enriching training session.
Namaskaram and thank you for the invitation. I like to make it more interactive than a one-way dialogue. Um, I know you are people who are all teaching in UK. Have done a similar program for another set of teachers earlier, and there are few subjects which I have already posted as micro teaching on different topics. That is from mathematics, physics, chemistry, I think English, all such subjects. Basically, uh, teaching is the earlier word which is used. Probably today it should be in the other way, that how do we make others to learn subjects? So learning comes only when you have a heart to learn. So attitude more matters in learning. What is important is to know how do we learn. Therefore, teachers should know how to teach, if at all you are calling it as teaching. So, most of my sessions for teachers or parents or students will be on learn to learn and learn to teach. If I know the trick of learning, it becomes easier for me. Today, it has become a fashion that everybody goes for coaching, tuitions. That is because probably people are being trained to cycle on a road, cycle on another road, cycle on another road, cycle on another road, but never learned how to cycle. You teach maths, you teach physics, you teach chemistry, they only know how to get some marks in that. if you know how to learn, probably every subject becomes easy for you. It's like I'm not learning to swim in a swimming pool, very specific. I know how to swim, so anywhere I can jump. That is lacking. Probably that is the reason after plus one, plus two, they do NEET examination. Then after MBBS, they go again for MD, MS admissions. You never learn how to learn. While doing PhD, also people think that no, I am going in a path to do some research. But doing PhD is not identifying a problem and solving it. It is to learn how to find a problem and how to find solutions for all the problems, whichever subject you are into. Therefore, for me, every subject is equal, whether it is maths, physics, chemistry, biology, language, any engineering subject, any management subject, or medical science. It doesn't matter for me, because if I know how to catch that subject, then it becomes under my control. So my intention of all the classes across the globe is to make students to realize everyone has a potential to learn, and that only human being have this ability. And we can always learn. That means you can always teach that subject. So best method is to learn how to teach. That is why I say learn to learn, learn to teach. A good student is always a good teacher. A good teacher is always a good student. Every day there are so many things which we can learn from around us. And if somebody is not able to learn, that means their environment was not good. They couldn't get enough support for learning it. That doesn't mean they were good, those who are able to learn. Somebody is not able to learn, that doesn't mean they are bad. Their environment was bad. So you make an environment, they will be able to do much better than what they are. Ultimately, examination test is must. There are two places where examination and test happens. One is in academic institution, and second one is in hospitals. A pathologist do testing to identify what is wrong with the patient, and then what is done in a medical testing, they will not discharge the patient without curing. They do a test and identify some parameters are wrong. That is what we do when we conduct exam also. Some of the parameter for maths is not good, chemistry is not good. Okay, then what do? We either make them fail or scold them, but doctors don't do that. What do is they give medicines and then retest them and see that the parameters are 100% perfect, then only discharge them. In academics, people go with the chronic disease. That is because they keep on getting promotions, they reach into some level, they identify the base is not there. Earlier in our childhood and all, most of the students fail, only very few pass. Today it has become everybody passes. Therefore, what happens is when a higher knowledge has to be learned, they find it very difficult. That is because the base is lost. Too much of specialization has made them not to understand or invest a lot of time, because something required to be matured enough, that takes some time. They don't have time. I don't call this education today as 21st century education. I call it as third decade of 21st century, because it's not, century is 100 years. So if somebody says I am into 21st century knowledge, it's actually foolish, because it's not 100 years We already cost 25 years or maybe 75 years. We have another 25 years to go. That's not true. I believe that we have crossed half of the third decade because we are in 2025. Too much of fastness in learning. When 17 years back, I wrote a book on adaptive learning. When I wrote that, the Zoom, Gmeet, everything was new to most of the people. 17 years back, 2005, 2007 is the time I wrote book. When I insisted teachers have to do this online teaching, they were reluctant because that is new. I was considered as a bad man because I was forcing teachers, unless you make it, I will not give certificate. Forced teachers to make it. They were not ready. There is a consortium for educational communication under UGC. I was part of it. So that's the time I wrote a book on adaptive learning. So what happens is things moves very fast. We were forced to learn this online because of Professor COVID, who made all of us to learn this business of teaching online. So today we are so comfortable. So things move very fast. I don't think 2 years back people were looking at online open courses. We have now today massive online open courses. I was part of a university earlier where I was insisting every teacher should have at least a 10 massive open online courses, then only you will get promotion. So anybody can learn any subject today. That too free of cost. You don't have to spend money. Education has become that sort of a area where it's like a supermarket. I remember 2005 I wrote a blog which says education supermarket. You can pick up whatever you want, identify a teacher, learn. But that is now today MOOC. 20 years before I wrote that. When it comes to early childhood education, from early childhood to probably the school levels, there is a great saying, there is a comparison between a schoolmaster and a station master. Station master who minds the trains and a schoolmaster trains the minds. It is not the brain that learns, it is the heart that learns. There are 3 H which has to be really made into life. One is intelligence, that is in the head, the passion to learn which is in the heart, and practically learning is in the hand. Where am I going to use it? Application part of it. If it's not applied, if I don't know the objective and scope of my learning, learning becomes useless. So I keep saying learning is always with a lot of questions. Why, where, when, how. Keep on asking. WWWWHHH. Any subject in the world, if that cannot be answered, most of them can be answered, your learning become handicapped. You don't know why am I learning. That is why most of the time subjects become so difficult, because you don't know where is it being used. Especially people who learn maths after 7th grade, that is true with any part of the world. The basic education, primary, upper primary, is to know your life. That means know me, know my family, know my neighborhood, and know the world around my world. We keep growing and then the whole world is known to me. After that, it's all abstract science, which are used for development of either social science, economics, trade. These are all at a higher level. To live, you don't have to know all this. To be a human being, to be a social being, we need to know up to probably the primary, upper primary level. After that, it becomes mostly for building up a career. So, identify what is the purpose of life. Why am I learning this? Then the question comes, Why am I learning all subjects in my childhood? I have decided to be a doctor. Why should I learn maths? Is the question. Or I decided to become an engineer. Why should I learn my mathematics? I don't require it. Why should I learn about Wordsworth when I decided to become an economics person? It's nothing to do with it. There are two portions in education. One is life giving education, and the other one is life making education. It's all quotes from great personalities from India. Like Vivekananda told, there are two types of education. One is life giving education, the other one is life making education. All humanity subjects are, I know Mahatma Gandhi. Without knowing Mahatma Gandhi also, I can earn my life. Without learning Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya, I can still become an engineer. I don't have to know that Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya was a great engineer in India. I was conducting interview for selection of all the senior faculties the other 2 days. Most of them don't know who is Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya, though they are all engineers with a PhD in engineering. That too from Karnataka, the land where Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya happens to be there. And the engineering university name itself is Vishwesvaraya Engineering College University. I happened to be a teacher there in 1986 to 89, 40 years back. So, knowing people for different purposes. One is to motivate others to become like that. They are all role models in the world. We need role models. So somebody wanted to, that is why Einstein said once, it is hard to believe that a person like Mahatma Gandhi walked with the flesh and blood on this earth. People may not even believe. There are a lot of qualities to be learned. So we have role models. When we have role models, we will also try to stimulate or take some message from him. That will help us in most of the time achieving what we want. Why do we learn? Now I said 3H, but Nelson Mandela said there are 2H. There cannot be a heart and a head equally for everybody. There are more head or more heart. Both together is not possible. That's what he says. So when we learn that, we will start analyzing what is that I should have. In the context of learning subject, what should I have? Or each one of us start analyzing who are all the teachers whom you love most, whom do we remember in our life. I am so blessed and lucky that I have satsang groups in which my graduate teachers are still in contact and they keep listening to me every day. I am sure this lecture also they will listen. And they will say that, oh, you talked about me. They think that, no, this is the teacher in mind. They know who is that I am meaning. My 9th class teacher who have come only 1 or 2 hours in my class as substitute teacher, keep talking to me once in a month saying, when are you going to come? I want to see you. Correct. That's a love which we carry. Imagine 50 years back when somebody is in contact with you, still wanted to meet you. They keep looking upon you that what you become. That's a love which you share with the teachers. I have a book called Life Made Simple in which I said that when you are age 3, your father and mother is the great person in the world. Because everybody who comes and meet you, all of them are father and mother's relatives, friends, like that. We are connected to the world through 2 people. When you become nursery, LKG, UKG, the world grows. Then the great personality is my teacher. Because so many such fathers and mothers go and meet the teachers. They show a lot of respect. So I find that there are so many people like my mother and father who respect my teachers, or teacher is the most respectable person in the world. But you ask the same question who is in the age of 13, 14, they all hate their teachers. They all hate their parents. And they believe that the best person in the world is their friends. That is what is called a peer group learning. That is because in early childhood we have seen teachers teaching all the subjects to them. Later you see teachers know only one subject, whereas the student knows 10 subjects. The Hindi teacher doesn't know mathematics. Mathematics teacher doesn't know Hindi, but the student knows all the subjects. So they think teachers are useless. Correct. I don't understand when I ask somebody what is your background, they say I am chemistry, physics, maths. I said that's not true. Your background is all the subjects. Your foreground keep changing. But why we forget our foreground? I have the credit of saying that is lucky because I got very less marks in my 10th class. If I write 10th class now, I will get more marks than what I got during my childhood. Because I was almost a failure in that. I did not get 90 above. But today if I write, I will get 90 above. Even without a preparation if I go. Because I was teaching all the subjects which are 10th class. Most of the syllabus. That's my routine thing. Last year, almost the same day, 24th August 2023, I was there in Goa. A week I went and stayed there. There were 63 children. The nuns who were running the school, a aide to school told me that only 3 students get out of 90, 90 and above percentage. I said I will come and spend 5 days. And 5 days, that was this time, almost the same time. I put my date 24/08/24. That's why I remember 2024. YYMMDD is my format. Today's class is 25/08/24. So I remember that 25/08/24 I was with Simon's Academy. So last year I was there in Goa. And all the subjects I taught, out of 63, 59 of them got 90 above because I spent 5 days there. And all the teachers were asked, this is how you should teach. Because teaching is not important. Learning is more important. Learning should become much more happier, engaging, entertaining. Every subject can be made entertaining. I was taking the toughest chapter in any of the subjects. I asked them to come and discuss with me. And naturally, the 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th class children find trigonometry is very difficult in maths. So I said, come. And I took them to the veranda. The class was not in the classroom with the board and chalk. It was in the veranda. I showed practically where is it used. It's there in the introduction itself, but nobody reads introduction. Nobody reads textbook. So made it practical. So when it becomes practical, I'm sure people remember. It's very easy. So the best method to teach is to give some practical. That is why I said I still remember my teachers. When I conduct camps in my house, I have my home in Kannur district. Naduvil is the place name. My house name is Nanam. So if you type JNAANAM, Nanam DrTPS, you will see camps happening there. And in most of my camps, one day is given to my science teacher, who is exactly what I wanted is what he does. That means he comes with a lot of practical. He will come with the 2 bags with full of physics, chemistry and all that. All the theorems what you ask, he will show some experiments. He's a biology teacher, but he used to teach physics, chemistry. And he also is a great English teacher. So it's all fun to learn. That is why I keep saying edutainment is what is to be done. Maths can be made so simple, interesting, enjoyable to any level. Doesn't matter whether you are doing a PhD or are doing a lower grade classes. What happens is, yesterday I had a great fun. I was selecting a mathematics teacher. So I said, whichever topic you want, you start explaining as if you are in the class. And she started giving a sample class of logarithm. From that itself, I understood it's by hearted and then came and presented. Nothing is from the brain, it is from only the tongue, not even from the heart. I did not ask anything, I only asked how far is your house. So she said 30 kilometers. How much time it takes from this college to university to the house? She said 1 hour. So I asked what is the speed, velocity. She is applying for a university mathematics lecturer job. She doesn't know how to compute velocity. And I have a lot of such examples to give. Okay, that is because it is not her fault. You prepare something and then finish delivering. I am sure if she did not prepare anything, if I ask this question, probably it will come. Because when they prepare, that's only in your mind. So what is required is come with an open mind, have a dialogue with the students, ask them what is that they want, have some discussions, and relate with what subject you are going to teach. Day-to-day activity. So you become so casual. It doesn't mean you don't have to prepare, but don't prepare for the class for the day. Prepare the whole subject. Understand the objective and scope. Look at what are all the subject the students have to learn. Irrespective of what you are teaching. Learn all the other subjects also. You can imagine a maths teacher going and talking about English grammar. The students will say, wow. And an English teacher talking little bit of maths. First, there is a 9 principles of Nane's principle. Get the attraction of the students. That's more important. How do you attract the students? When you attract the students, the attention comes. Attention is concentration. That's what is Shraddha. So there is a saying in Bhagavad Gita, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Knowledge comes only when you have Shraddha. Concentration. How do you get concentration? That comes, there is 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. DrTPS, there is a blog. 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. For higher class, it is 20 points to students, 10 points to teachers, because parents have no role. So 30 points, the first point is how to prepare. I was not a good student until my 12th class. So when I decided to learn, when I have started my graduation, I remember I have Macbeth to study. I was not good in English at all. Even today, I am not very good in English. So when I have to study English, Macbeth, what I did is, I have translated Macbeth. I took dictionary, not like today, we don't have online. I took dictionary, translated the whole thing, so it was by heart for me actually. Malayalam, we had poetry, I by hearted everything. All the mathematics which I have to study in my class, syllabus is with us, textbook is with us. Everything is solved and I am going and sitting in the classroom. That means I have done a pre-preparation before going to class. When I do a pre-preparation, it becomes easier. Attention in the class comes only when I know the language the teacher is speaking. If all of you would have known to me, if you have done some survey of who is this DrTPS, there would have been a lot of questions. And one of you would have sent a WhatsApp message to me. Yeah, I'm so happy because coming to your class in this academy means I am coming to your house. Somebody would have invited, that's an official job which he is supposed to do for because he is paid for that. But somebody has an interest, would have knocked my door, probably sent a message. We are going to have you today. I am so and so from this place. Right? That shows you have done some homework. Everybody is busy in the world. And everybody says, excuse that I don't have time. That's not correct. Everybody has time based on the priority what you have. So every student has to prepare. If preparation is not done, your concentration will be less. Right? If you don't know the terminologies in which I am talking, the language is not understood. If I speak you in a language which you don't understand, you cannot concentrate. In classroom, that's what is happening. Most of the time, the terminologies what is used will not be understood by student. Everybody knows this is what I am going to do. That is why Jnane's principle says do a pre-preparation and teach for some time. Then have an interaction to know what did you learn. So there are two things. How do you do this? I am seeing some of you are writing down. That's a good habit. Taking notes is one important thing, and making notes. If I wanted to remember any one of you, or today if 25th, 25, 08, 24, I am seeing you. If any one of you send a message, next year you will get a message on the same day. Last year, this date, you were with me. I keep such connections. More than millions of contacts I have. I've taught really millions of teachers, millions of parents, millions of students. My name is TPS, Teachers, Parents, Students. That's my life. So what do we do? Oh, this is what I learned today. Once you make a note and send it, assume that you want to do that. Your attention will be to take all the points so that you can make a beautiful note. So make all the children, what do I do is, when I speak to children, I will say that you have to take notes. And most of the time in the university also, when I teach maths or management subjects, I was a professor of management, I was a professor of mathematics, I taught many of the engineering subjects, I make them take note, send me the picture, what you have noted down, you will get full assignment marks. That's my internal marks. If you make a note and send it, you will get a distinction mark. Got it? If you can write, make a brief of what you understood, that means you know. If you don't know how to make a note, you don't know. And how do you prepare for this? If technical terms are not there, you may not be able to write it exactly. So, having the syllabus, learn the whole thing and then sit. 2.5 hours, any movie, even if you go to a theater, you are able to have 100% attention. But 30 minutes or 40 minutes classroom, attention is not there. The biggest complaint everybody gets is, I am not able to concentrate. Either teachers or students. I keep saying the reason is you don't prepare before the classroom. That's why attention is not there. When you go for a cinema, everybody knows the film name they know, director's name they know, which are all the songs, which is the plot, who are acting, everything we know before going for the cinema. That means you do a pre-preparation. Why people don't prepare before going to a class? So prepare it.